What perhaps matters a little bit more, we're seeing this actually mushroom quite significantly. More South Africans are falling victim to travel scams. As cyber criminals set their sights on the industry, a new report by Travel News revealed that travel is now the second most targeted sector for online attacks, with harmful bot activity jumping from 37% in 2023 to 44% just last year. It's a worrying trend that could leave holidaymakers as well as travelers out of pocket, if it hasn't already. What are some of the red flags travelers should be wary of when finalizing their bookings? Joining me now to unpack this is the Association of Southern African Travel Agents and Travel Advisors, then CEO Otto Vries. Then Otto, thank you so much for the time, really appreciate it. How are these fake travel agencies or travel advisors allowed to mushroom so much? What is the actual problem?
Good morning. Look, there's probably a number of layers that we need to go through, but to kick off that question, it is a very low entry level to be able to start in the travel industry. You don't need massive investments, you don't need lots of cash, you don't need necessarily offices. But what you're then able to do is, with fancy pictures and leveraging social media, you can present a very professional and a very sleek image, but those sleek images are hiding potentially fraudsters behind the scenes who are then using these opportunities to basically defraud potential travelers. And travel is such an emotive choice, and it's something that people work hard for. They save up a lot of money, and travel is not a cheap commodity. So at the end of the day, it is a very opportunistic and an easy way for us to be targeted.
Yeah, and I mean, the regulations, the rules, you've just said it's pretty much the barriers of entry aren't as harsh as perhaps other sectors may be. But what are those rules and regulations then to starting a travel agency or travel advisory?
Well, at its core, the industry, not just in South Africa, but pretty much in every country in the world, is not regulated. So South Africa is no different. But that is why we exist as the Association of Southern African Travel Agents and Advisors, because our role has been for almost 70 years, if you will, a banner of trust and confidence for traveling consumers, that when they are considering spending money with a travel agency or a travel advisor, that they can look out for their membership with our organization. We have stringent criteria. We have a sets of regulations. We require financial reporting on an annual basis. And all of these are steps to support and mitigate potential risk when it comes to working with travel agents and travel advisors. And we are very fortunate that we're in a position that we represent almost 95% of the South African travel industry in terms of market share.
So should it be regulated?
No, I don't believe it does need to be regulated. I think that we are doing a sterling job as an industry to self-regulate and to make sure that through our association we are providing a level of comfort to traveling consumers. In fact, we have not had an issue with any of our members in over 14 years. And I think that is a testament to the credibility of our association and a credibility to our members, who remain steadfast and committed to delivering professional service and professional travel arrangements for South African consumers.
But that only comes, of course, then, Otto, if we find the right one, the one that actually isn't a scam, right? And while you may think it's a sterling job at self-regulation, it's all the others and the nefarious actors that we're trying to actually take out of this entire situation. How do we then, if not through regulation, how else then can we strengthen the ways in which money is perhaps transferred to these fake or false travel agencies or advisors, and ensure that people know what to look out for?
Sure. Well, first and foremost, we always encourage the traveling consumers to verify before they do any financial transactions or bookings with potential travel agents or travel advisors. And that process is strengthened by your visiting our website, which is asata.co.za. All of our members are listed on there. You can search the name of the company, and if they are a member of our association, they will pop up on the screen. Secondly, I think there are just some basic areas that people need to keep in mind when they are making bookings. These include, for example, the very basic but very clever and always very catchy: if the price is too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. There's opportunism everywhere, and travel is no different. Also, people rushing you to make certain contributions or payments. Bank accounts, verify the bank accounts, check with the bank to make sure that those bank accounts are verifiable. Are they business bank accounts, or is it a business, or is it an account in a personal name? That should be a red flag. Wherever possible, we also strongly recommend using credit cards. Credit cards provide a very strong opportunity for consumers to be able to do chargebacks if indeed the transactions prove to be fraudulent. Then you can intervene with your bank, and in most cases, you're able to get your funds back. So credit card transactions is also a very strong tool. And if people are forcing you to do an EFT, one needs to consider again if those bank accounts can be verified and if those bank accounts are actually in the name of a company. Check those websites, make sure that they are verified. Scammers are excellent at making very small changes to a URL that then makes it look legitimate. Double check and verify, and always also check online ratings, and also to make sure that there are reviews that should also provide you with guidance before you make the transaction.
Yeah, I mean, it actually relates very well then with our poll then today, because we've asked those who are watching just what their biggest red flag, shall we call it, is then when it comes to travel agents or advisors, and what they believe would highlight that it's a scam. They say, well, if the price is too good to be true, that's a key factor for them. 53% of those that have voted today then are saying that that is a key element for them. Second to that is unverifiable contacts or maybe bad reviews then as well, being a third option there. So it goes along then with what you're saying then, Otto, with regards to this. There's one element you spoke about there, and that is just using credit cards, for example, because that could see you get cash back as well. Is there a general sense of recourse if you do lose money to these bogus travel agencies? If it's gone for the most part, does it mean that there's no way to get it back?
Well, you would have a very strong chance of being able to be refunded through the chargeback services and facilities of credit card companies. But if you have made a EFT transfer into a bank account, it's highly unlikely that you're going to have any recourse or ability to be refunded.
Yeah, ultimately, it just tells you the story then of an industry that continues to grapple, and these people just trying to take advantage of people. Is the industry still seeing gains, though? And I mean, in terms of travel agents just themselves then, are there a lot of people still booking through agencies, considering that the internet is right there? You can almost book for yourself now through almost anything.
Yeah, look, we've seen actually substantial growth in the sector and increasing confidence from travelers wanting to utilize professional travel services such as travel agents and travel advisors. In the corporate space, that is serviced by travel management companies. And the reason is multiple. First and foremost, I think a lot of people felt they got their fingers very badly burnt as a result of COVID, where it was almost impossible to make changes to your bookings. It was incredibly difficult to contact suppliers via the internet or through other channels to try and understand how you could either get a refund or how you could reschedule your booking. We saw the introduction of voucher systems, which meant that there was no actual refund, but an opportunity to rather travel at a later date. And that had a profound impact in people reconsidering as to how they go about booking their travel services. There are still financial benefits to be had. There's the trust factor, which we've highlighted during the course of our conversation this morning. But I think one of the other areas that is starting to come through increasingly is that travel is complex. It is extremely complicated and getting more complicated by the minute for two reasons. One, the amount of choice and options that are available to traveling consumers is becoming overwhelming. The statistics is incredible. If you think about how many hours and how many websites people visit before they even go ahead and make a booking. So there's just exhaustion and fatigue and the challenge around having to try and filter through all of that noise. When you're using a professional travel advisor or travel agency or a travel management company, they are providing that filter and service for you. We're finding the right products for you at the right price with the right service behind it, because there's a final layer that comes into all of this. If you have multiple services and products that you are booking, you would like to have one point of contact if something goes wrong. A flight is cancelled or a flight is delayed. The knock-on effect and the impact can be quite profound on all of your other travel arrangements. Imagine being able to contact one travel advisor who can ensure that all of the ongoing knock-on effects is dealt with in a professional and simple manner. And all of this comes at a very, very manageable fee for the traveling consumer. We are a professional industry that deliver professional service for travelers, and we will continue to see the need for our sector to grow as the confusion of all of these scams and choices just increase.
Yeah. Would you say you're back at pre-COVID levels?
Yes, as an industry, from a travel perspective, yes. And in fact, in some areas, we're well ahead now.
Yeah. Very interesting. Otto, appreciate the time. Thank you so much. Indeed, the awareness then when it comes to these travel scams, very, very important. So thank you so much for helping us ascertain that and get to a sense of understanding as well and awareness for all of those that are watching then. Otto de Vries from the Association of Southern African Travel Agents and Travel Advisors.